Hello and welcome back to Grind Slime TV with me, your host Aaron. And today we're going to be talking about the horror classic that is Pig Farm Massacre, a.k.a. Slaughterhouse from 1987. And it always hit a banger. This is a really fun film. I've always enjoyed this. It's it's one of those ones that kind of wears its heart on its sleeve. It's a classic sort of B movie, very odd film. It's as you're watching it, you're like, are they making a comedy? Are they making a horror movie? I'm not entirely sure. They kind of pull off both, but they very heavily lean on each other as well to sort of keep it going. Now, the storyline to this is that there is a pig farm that's being shut down, and there's people trying to. There's a sheriff and a lawyer and another slaughterhouse owner who are trying to buy this out from under the aptly named Lester Bacon and his big old son Buddy, who's you know, as they call him in the movie The Hangover, he's a retard. Love that film too. And it's pretty cool stuff here. Look, you've got some teenagers hanging on meat hooks, which is always fun. You can't have a movie about slaughterhouses and not use the meat hooks. That's ridiculous. It's like old who was that Russian cunt with the gun on the fireplace? You know the one I'm on about. And but yeah, Lester Bacon, he's like, well, there's only one way to keep these people from trying to buy my property, and clearly that's by killing them in very graphic and creative ways, which is always fun, particularly in the 80s. I mean, you couldn't get enough fake blood in the 80s. Now, direction wise, I think it's directed pretty well. I mean, considering what they had, the writing is interesting. I mean, it's a fun film. It's not like they weren't sitting there rubbing their hands together and going, "Oh, Oscars, here we come." I don't think that ever crossed their mind. But the cinematography in it, I really enjoy. It's got some really cool sort of like it utilizes angles and stuff like that pretty well. And when they're in the slaughterhouse, they managed to make this quite big property seem very claustrophobic, which is really cool. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but it works really well and effectively. And the lighting in it's really cool as well. Like when it's when because a lot of this stuff goes on during the day as well, which at the time, daylight sort of killings wasn't exactly the norm. A lot of things like happened at night. It's got a lot of nighttime deaths in it too, as you do. But broad daylight killings are always fun, particularly when you get that bright red coming out. It's not quite Technicolor, but I mean, if it was, goddamn. But it definitely utilises the bleakness of the sort of rural town that sort of relies on its pig farms and whatnot. 30% fat. I mean, that's just going to clog up the arteries. But yeah, if you trespass on the Buddy's farm and you mess with his pigs, he'll fuck you up. I mean, if you into a mortician and the songs like Slaughterhouse and Slaughterhouse Part Two, it uses samples from this film, which is always fun. They're great tunes as well, really good fun. But no, this is one of those classic sort of the little man takes on the big man of industry and just makes a right mess of things, as you do. Maybe the moral is, you can't always take care of things yourself, but tell that to Buddy, he ain't having none of it. Look at that rumbuck and meat cleaver got for his birthday. Oh yes, good clean cuts with that bad boy. Trust me. Got a little pigtail around his neck, but the trotter. Look at that pig's trotter on the handle. I love it. The man lives for pigs. I don't know what to tell you. But it's a really fun film with Joe B. Barton as a Buddy who has no lines in the film. He just makes pig noises, which just adds to the fun. And yeah, I think some of the acting in here is passable. Like I think the guy who plays who was it? I can't remember who it is, but the guy who plays the man who runs the bigger pig farm, the more industrial one, he's not a bad actor, and the rest of them certainly do their job. There's no sort of, oh my god, this is awful, but at the same time, they're doing the best they can with what they've got. Yeah, it won't be for everyone. A lot of people are like, oh god, the storyline can't make its mind up, and there's things that happen in the film where it's like, do we even need that to be in there? And I get it, but you know, it's a good, fun little romp. It's, what is it, like 90 minutes? 82 minutes, so not even an hour and a half. Okay, of just cleaver swinging. And another thing about this as well, like being a slasher from like back in those days, there's no like, oh, it's not a who done it. You know what I mean? Straight from the offset, from the killing, they're like, oh yeah, this is your baddie, by the way. This is the guy who's fucking people up old school style on the old chopping block. Really cool stuff. And pigs are in it. They're cool. Now the little bit at the beginning where it shows you the meat packing process of when a pig goes from pen to hook. A lot of people don't like that because they're like, oh no, you know, oh, that, and it's like, well, I get that ignorance is bliss, or you know, you're a vegan and that's cool, but I don't know. I thought it was a nice little touch. It adds to the darkness of it because it's got like this cheerful music in the background while you're watching pigs get slaughtered and like burnt up and skinned and stuff. So I think it's effective, but it's a really, really cool, fun film, like I mentioned, and it kills an hour and a half. You know, it's got quite a few of the usual slasher tropes you can come to expect from around that sort of time, but this is just cool, old school, independent, R-rated comedy, sort of horror or X-rated, whatever it was at the time. Can never bloody remember, but yeah, get on this if you haven't seen it. It's a proper laugh, and the kills in it are really good as well. Well, that's just a lot of fun. It really is. If you go in there expecting more than that, like if you go and think, right, is this going to be like Texas Chainsaw Massacre or Halloween or fucking New York Ripper? No, no, this is its own beast, and it's in the form of Buddy, and who was just a great character. Really, really stands out, quite unique, and just make it happen, I reckon. If you're into your old school horror and you want to just watch something to add to the collection or just to say you've seen it, you can do a lot worse on a Friday night than Pig Farm Massacre, a.k.a. Slaughterhouse. I think Slaughterhouse is the more popular name for it, as it says on the spine and on the actual CD, and also the Mortician tracks and whatnot. But I just like the title Pig Farm Massacre, so with the reversible sleeve, you know, you can do Slaughterhouse, or a nice like Pig Farm Massacre. You know, it sits there nicely with Texas Chainsaw Massacre, or you know, Slumber Party Massacre, Nail Gun Massacre, you know, the Microwave Massacre. You know, all these greats. So, and they are great. I stand by it. So, Pig Farm Massacre, 1987. Make it happen. Great fun. That's it from me today. Have a wonderful day, and don't go messing with Buddy's hogs.